So what is up guys, I'm Black Ops Amazing, welcome back to another video on the channel where today we're going to be taking a look at secrets outside of our zombies maps. We're going to be exploring the areas that we never usually get to see because, believe it or not, Treyarch do actually put Easter eggs in hard to reach places, and even when they don't, because a zombies game is so chaotic, besides from in between rounds, you rarely get a time to look around, which is why tools such as free roam and theatre mode is so useful, because it allows you to get a closer look at the hidden details Treyarch put in to their zombies maps, especially outside. And so today we're going to be exploring Kino Der Toten. And if you guys do go on to enjoy this video, you can let me know by leaving a like rating, and who knows, if you want to, we may turn it into a series and explore other maps as well. But today we're going to be looking at Kino Der Toten. Oh, and by the way, quick reminder, we're almost at 700,000 subscribers, so if you are one of those people that hasn't already subbed to the channel, I'd really appreciate it if you took 2 seconds just to click that button. Anyway, coming out of theatre mode on Kino, one of the first things you see as you leave this area is a zombie on top of a car. It kind of looks like it's fell down on it, but looking up besides from the roof, I don't know why it would have been up there because there's no barriers, doors or anything like that. That's the only place I see it could have fallen from. But as you look out of the barriers towards this direction, the first thing you will notice is the massive imposing TV tower, and it's huge. If we go up to the top of it, you can see just how tall it really is. We arrive at Kino on the date October 28th, 1963. The Berlin TV tower was completed in 1969, and we can see it's still under construction here. The dome hasn't been finished, neither has the tower, because in real life it's got orange and white stripes on it, or red and white. I've actually seen this in real life, but it's still a few years off completion in Kino. And the other historical monument we see is of course the Berlin Wall, which was put up in 1961 and demolished in 1989. So Kino takes place literally 2 years after the Berlin Wall was established, and there is one of the guard towers there as well. I'm wondering if Treyarch either reused parts of this or took inspiration for the Berlin Wall multiplayer map we got in Black Ops 1, which was DLC. But either way, besides from that, yeah, there's not really too much else in this area, just a few buildings and 1960s vehicles. But what does stand out is the bus, because it says on it Morg City Transit. Now, from within inside of the map, you can only see the front of the bus, you can't see the writing, which tells us Treyarch didn't intend people to see that it says Morg City on it. But that's interesting because Shadows of Evil takes place in 1944, so about 20 years before Kino Der Toten. This is the 1940s bus with the Shadows of Evil Art Deco style to it. I don't think there's anything deeper to this. It looks like it's just a reused asset, and Treyarch didn't think to remove the writing because people are obviously going to speculate. But in zombies, we had a paradox. We had things appearing in places they shouldn't been, such as the Mob of the Dead plane in The Giant or Zetsubonoshima. Is there the chance the same thing has happened to the Morg City bus, where because of the fracturing, and we do know this version of Kino Der Toten, the Zombies Chronicles version, takes place in a fractured dimension, slightly shifted from the original, which is why we see differences between Black Ops 3 and the Black Ops 1 version. That could be the case for this bus, but in reality, I don't think story-wise there's anything to it. Another interesting thing you can see from outside of the map is the front of the theatre. As a child in Black Ops 1, I always wondered what the outside looked like. Of course, it was not going to be properly decorated. It's not an area that players can see, so Treyarch aren't going to put time and effort into it, but there's a bit of detail here. The 1960s wallpaper, the shelter above the outside doors. You can actually get a better look of the front of the Kino Theatre in Revelations, where there is more detail to it, but in terms of just the solo zombies map, it looks like this. I was also interested to know, is there actually anyone physically behind the doors that you can knock on and someone knocks back at you in Kino? If you don't know what I'm on about, there is an Easter egg where you can knife these doors and someone on the other side will knock back at you in a pattern. It's a part of a bigger Easter egg, but us being zombies nerds were speculating who's behind this door knocking at us, and well, if you go into theatre mode, you can see there's not actually anyone there, which you'd expect. And even then, with the knocking box Easter egg, it would more than likely either be a zombie or a survivor. Something else that caught my attention that you can see that's almost outside of the map, you can't access this area in game, is on the balcony above this walkable area, there are 4 blank portraits of the same person. The outline is the exact same for all 4 of them. Now, we also know on Kino there are 5 other portraits of a mystery person: Dempsey, Nikolai, Takio, and Richtofen. Ever since we first found this Easter egg in 2010, we've been wondering who this is. Is it the Shadow Man? Is it Dr. Monty? Is it Pablo Marinus? Is it Primus Nikolai, which was revealed in the classified portrait? I still don't think that's the answer, by the way, and I've done a whole video on that. I don't believe we know 100% who this mystery character is, but outside of the playable area, you can also see another 4 portraits of him hung on the wall. I mean, besides from that, outside of the map, there's nothing really else that caught my eye, but inside in areas that you don't spend much time in, such as the Pack-a-Punch room, taking a look in here in theatre mode, we've got the same chalkboard which is in all of the old Zombies maps. There is Dr. Maxis's desk, and we know this because his nameplate is on there, which means everything on and around here relates to him. We do know Kino Der Toten was the main place where Group 935 were creating the undead army for the Nazis, and there is huge amounts of evidence of that. I mean, you just look in the main area and there are tubes with literal zombies stuffed inside of them, created by Group 935, ready to send off to Germany to use in the war. Because you're in this room for a limited amount of time, I never really took a closer look at what's on this desk, but there's loads of liquids. We can guess one of those is at least Divinium or Element 115, images of the brain, the Hellhound, which was Samantha's dog Fluffy, and a diagram of a zombie, which I thought was really cool. I don't know why I've never really taken notice of this before. And then, more so what I got to explore in theatre mode were the rooms that you get teleported to after you Pack-a-Punch. So the first one is the dentist's office, which on the original version of Kino was similar to one of the rooms that we had in Verrucht. The chair in the middle on the original version of Kino was exactly the same as the one that Mason sat in the campaign. As you would expect, this place is really gruesome. There's all sorts of tools that would have been used. You can imagine, kind of similar to Verrucht, how Group 935 used that mental asylum to experiment on patients. A place like this would have been used for something similar. There are these same liquids that we see on Dr. Maxis's desk. One of them spilt on the floor. Maybe that's 115. There are two doors in here. If you look through the windows of them, one of them is like an interrogation room almost, and the other one is an exact replica of this room, just with curtains surrounding the dentist chair. Other than that though, there's not much to this one. Next is the conference room, which of course is from the map 5. Maybe some of you didn't know, but there's actually a cool Easter egg in here, where if you go up to the rocket on the table and press the interactive button, you can actually launch it. There are some blueprints of the rockets, different time zones on the wall, some classified documents lying on the table. On the corkboard there is a zombies Easter egg, a scrap piece of paper which, if my memory serves me right, was originally from Derice, that says side effect of using 115. The power is undeniable, but who can use such weapons without themselves turning? Another place that you can teleport to after Pack-a-Punching in Kino is Samantha's bedroom. There's quite a few little Easter eggs in here. The Mob of the Dead poster on the wall, Escape from the Tomb. On her set of drawers we have what looks like porcelain or toy versions of our characters, Richtofen, Dempsey and Nikolai. I don't know where Takio is. We saw in the Origins ending cutscene when Samantha was in her bedroom, which is in Dr. Monty's house. She was playing with these characters, so that's cool. On her shelf she's got the monkey bomb, she's got the rocket. Below that we've got her musical box. On the table over here, her teddy is sitting on the chair with another rocket and some chess pieces. I don't trust that bear. If we come over to this side of the room where her bed is, there is a book that is open with a bunch of numbers on here. This is actually a cipher that was from Revelations that still to this day is unsolved. We don't know what this says, unfortunately, but this isn't specific to Kino. This was copied and pasted from Revelations. She has another teddy bear sitting on the window, and then in the middle of the room on the carpet, there is a chalk drawing of something. I don't know if any of you guys can recognize what this is, but it's actually an unfinished version of Origins. If you put the two side by side, the map of Origins and this chalk drawing on the floor are almost identical. On Samantha's carpet is an unfinished version of the Origins map. We do know that Dr. Monty is the one who gives us the chalk drawings of the weapons on the wall in Zombies map, so was it Dr. Monty who drew this? We also know he draws the blueprints, so this could have something to do with Monty, or was it Samantha? Either way, why the layout of the Origins map is on the floor in Samantha's bedroom is weird, and there's a question mark on this box over here which resembles the mystery box. But then we go over to the final room we teleport to in Kino, which is the evil version of Samantha's bedroom, where everything is destroyed, and it looks like the culprit was Teddy, where we have a giant version of him standing over all of these bears on the floor that have had their heads ripped off. Everything is trashed, everything is on the floor, the window is broken, which, judging by the Origins ending cutscene, is bad.
Put some toys away, children. Make sure the windows are locked before you come down to the basement.
This window should be kept closed at all times, especially when no one's in this room, but maybe they are. Maybe Teddy is here. Yeah, everything that we saw in place in the nice version of her room, in this version, it's thrown about everywhere. There is blood on the floor. The question is, who did this? Was it Dr. Monty? Could it have something to do with the zombies? Or is the answer standing right in front of us? So there we go. Those are all of these secrets outside of the map and in areas that you usually don't get much time to look at within Kino Der Toten. We all know about the interior Easter eggs, such as the writing on the wall that says beware of the Six. Some people think that relates to the Hellhounds, how they spawn in on round 6. I think it's a warning against the Nova 6 crawlers. We've seen all of the Easter eggs inside of the maps 1,000 times, but when it comes to the outside stuff, to me, that's interesting now. So there we go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, hopefully you've enjoyed. If you have, drop a like rating. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest content on the channel. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, goodbye.